Again, good morning to everybody. This is Tuesday morning session of Mind the Moment, and my name is Mary Starr Green, and I am delighted to be with you today. It's been a little while. I think it's been a few months for me, at least a season. So I'm really happy to have the opportunity to practice with you today. So this is brought to you by Point 32 Health, which is the parent company for Harvard Pilgrim Health Plan and Tufts Health Plan. And if you happen to be joining for the first time, welcome. And if you are joining for the umpteenth time, a warm welcome to you too. So before we get started, just the reminder that to open up, if you go down to the chat box, open it up and then just click on that drop-down menu so that as I just did, so that it says everyone, so that if you're typing in a comment or something to share, that we can all benefit from that. Thank you. And so I'm going to start by doing a little reading and maybe a little reflection on that. And then we'll do a guided practice. I'll be leading a meditation that could probably be about 15 minutes, maybe a little bit less. And that will leave us a little bit of time at the end. At any point, if there is, something that comes up for you in the reading or something that you want to share regarding that meditation, this is an opportunity to put it in the chat box and we can discuss that as a group and share. All right. So you might we'll start just by arriving in a way that feels like, okay, now I'm beginning, whether it's shifting your position in your seat or getting a little bit more comfortable, or maybe you've already been sitting for a little while and just need to stretch a little bit and move around. So something that says, I have arrived. I have arrived. And as promised, I will begin with this. I guess you could call it a poem, although the author, as far as I know, does not identify as a poet per se. This is by Gunilla Norris. I know she's a psychotherapist, and I believe she's a New Englander. She lives not far from here. She's got to be in her 80s by now. And this is something that she wrote, and she called it The Paradox of Noise. And so, paradox. So settle in for the paradox. She says, it is a paradox that we encounter, or that we can encounter, so much internal noise when we try to sit in silence. It is a paradox that experiencing pain releases pain. It is a paradox that keeping still can lead us so fully into life and doing and being. Our minds do not like paradoxes. We want things to be clear so we can maintain our illusions of safety. Certainty breeds tremendous smugness. We each possess a deeper level of understanding, however, which loves paradox. It knows that summer is already growing like a seed in the depth of winter. It knows that the moment we're born, we begin to die. It knows that all of life shimmers in shades of becoming, that shadow and light are always together, the visible mingled with the invisible. When we sit in stillness, we're profoundly active. Keeping silent, we hear the roar of existence. Through our willingness to be the one that we are, we become one with everything. There's a lot there. There's a lot there. Perhaps something in what she says kind of grabbed you, maybe a line more than the other, that might have your name on it today. Everything from experiencing pain releases pain. How do we want to control things? How can we through practice, learn to allow and accept. And it is a process, an evolution, I would say. Um, that keeping still and that being silent will bring up so much, or, our thinking minds. I know for me that was and probably continues to be the big myth buster that sitting to be still is going to result in stillness. I mean, it does happen, but we are thinkers. We're thinkers and we're doers. And so instead of continuing to unpack this for now, maybe just let's settle in for a practice of meditation. So as I say that, I'm shifting so that my feet will land to the ground. You could also be standing up if you want, or even lying down if that is going to serve you better now. So taking care and finding the position that's going to work best for you. All right, and finding a balanced way to be with this, balancing within the body, awareness of the breath. Might begin by asking the question, what am I already aware of? Taking in through our senses as a way of settling in. Sound, sensations, thoughts, emotions. This is the ever-changing lens of our experience. So to be clear, we can begin to settle by choosing just a gentle anchor, whether it's the breath or the feeling of the body, feet to the ground. Opening to all that's within our awareness, and also returning to an anchor as we need it. So here, selectively choosing where we tend and attend, the intention to be present, the attention towards an anchor, if you will, or just that knowing of what stabilizes, what helps to settle the mind. And the space, right? The attitude that is patient, that is kind, that is not judging our efforts. Bringing all of these together, the intention, the attention, and this gentle attitude of kindness. You're practicing in this way for a bit as my voice goes silent. As we continue this practice together, more and more, more and more getting comfortable with, or familiar with at least, these seeming contradictions, these paradoxes of what it means to tap into our inherent quality of mindfulness, to find stillness, or perhaps not, to hear the roar of our own thinking minds, and to give that space to reorient, to understand, gaining more clarity, what it means to be human. Again, continuing with silence. this period of meditation, I'm going to read Gunilla Norris's poem again, perhaps just allowing it to land between the ears, thinking, just receiving. It is a paradox that we encounter or can encounter so much internal noise when we first try to sit in silence. It is a paradox that experiencing pain releases pain. It is a paradox that keeping still can lead us so fully into life and doing and being. We each possess a deeper level of understanding, which loves paradox, although our minds do not like paradoxes, but we have a deeper level of understanding that revels, that loves paradox. It knows that summer is already growing like a seed in the depth of winter, that everything changes, that the moment we're born, we begin to die, that nothing is permanent. It knows that all of life shimmers in shades of becoming, that shadow and light are always together, sense of equanimity, and that the visible mingles with the invisible. When we sit in stillness, we're profoundly active. Keeping silent, we hear the roar of existence. Through our willingness to be the one that we are, to understand the nature of our being human, we become one with everyone and everything. So with that, we can officially end that period of meditation. And, oh yes, thank you. And so I see some of you, I did not put that in the chat box, but yes, that's The Paradox of Noise by Gunilla Norris. It is in there. Yes. And so if you had any comments about this, about the meditation or a particular phrasing, or maybe something you've noticed within your own practice, whether you're just starting out or if this is a regular thing for you, it's always nice to hear from the group. So I'll just add, hard to calm the mind, but excited to get back into the practice. Yeah. And so in the calming of the mind, working with the mind, it is an ongoing engagement. And to be clear, as we practice meditation, yes, we start to uncover just how busy our mind and our emotional life is. And we get to kind of know it, and that can be humbling, and that can be a lot of awareness that builds. And in that awareness, it gives us the choice in responding, in understanding, and in having a lot of, in my experience, like just a lot of compassion for our own thinking minds and those of others. Yeah. So, there's a lot in here. I think the understanding that, as we can shift how we relate to what's happening, including our busy minds, but also I think she uses the word pain here. You can put in whatever you want, that as we learn to allow and accept, because for the most part, we can't control or change anything. So, it's a type of understanding that this is how it is. That through that gives us the space and the opportunity to begin to untangle some of the habit patterns and release, as she says, release the pain, that evolution. Yeah. Thank you. And some, I didn't realize that incorporating meditation to combat. Yeah. Wonderful. I'm going to type this in again. It's the paradox of noise. And that's, oh, I'm sorry. It's vanilla. Vanilla. Yeah. Okay. So any final thoughts, comments, anything? Again, I don't know if she identifies as a poet. Perhaps I was wrong in saying that she does or does not, but anyway, that came to me and I just thought I would share it, as we continue to get familiar with things that can more than one thing be true. This is kind of a seeming paradox. It conflicts, again, for the thinking mind, it really kind of defies logic, but we can begin to see how these things can both be true, Yeah. And then impermanence helps to enjoy the present. Absolutely. And we can see that, seasonally. I find that comforting. In seasons, we could say, oh no, the leaves are falling off the trees. Oh, that means summer's gone. But, in truth, it's the season and it's the beauty. And it's the letting go. And it's part of that process of changing seasons here in New England. All right. Well, this is a good time to end our session. I wanted to thank everybody for your wonderful presence, for your great contributions, and wanted to wish you a really good day ahead, rest of the day ahead, and the week, and of course, a month of October. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Yeah.